And welcome to week 2 of Wolves Sports Night. I'm Kevin Wallace, here with my brother Adam Wallace, and we don't have any time. Let's get this party started.
Let's do it.
We're going to start off with baseball today, where last Sunday, the Michigan baseball squad hosted Iowa. Michigan took an early 2-0 lead on an RBI groundout by right fielder Matt Butler and an RBI single by shortstop Chris Getz. Team of the week, did I hear?
Team of the week.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive honor. Well, let's move on to field hockey, as the number 9 Michigan field hockey team traveled into Columbus, Ohio last Friday night to face the hated number 14 Ohio State Buckeyes in the first Big Ten match of the season. The Wolverines' 4-game winning streak, however, would hit a major roadblock from the get-go as Ohio State opened with back-to-back goals in the first period within 30 seconds of each other for a quick 2-0 lead. But junior Kara Lentz scored Michigan's first goal 4 minutes later with a goal on a penalty stroke. OSU came back with 2 more goals before the end of the first half, however, to make it 4-1.
That's 5 a.m. Saturday morning in China. And Kevin, I used to play against Justin Schweitzer in basketball in high school, and he was the quickest little kid. He used to run back and forth, and he could shoot the lights out.
Well, I'm personally just glad Darius Walker is beating this competition. God. I was a little scared about that one. For all those people viewing in China, they now know what time to tune into this one. All right, well, let's move on to a little bit of volleyball, as the Michigan volleyball team came into East Lansing with a record of 6-3, while the Spartans were at 7-3. Michigan found themselves at an early 2-1 game deficit, but that's why it's a best of 5. In Game 4, Brzezinski tallied the 500th kill of her career in only 42 matches, the second fastest Wolverine to do so, helping Michigan out to an early lead.
And who's he play for?
Oh, he plays for the Cubs. I'm a White Sox fan from Chicago, so I don't really like him right now, but he is the reason why I personally like him is because he is the essence of consistency, and he's not a fireball pitcher. He doesn't throw 95, 96. He paints the corners. It's all about location with Greg Maddux, and the umps have given him the outside corner for years, but you got to do that because the man's amazing. They respect him. And the thing is, I mean, you could always say Greg Maddux has been on winning teams and that's why he's won so much.
Absolutely.
But he creates those winning teams by being part of them. Whether the Saints should play their home games at LSU in 2006, which is the highly anticipated news story, or whether they should go somewhere else such as the Alamo Dome. I say it's a very good idea for them to play at LSU because, let's be honest, the Saints do not have much of a national following, and most of their fans are concentrated, like most home states or home teams are in Louisiana. So I would say it's a perfect place to play at LSU. They're going to still have a lot of fans there. You saw the effects that happened when they went to New York to face the Giants in New York. If they moved it to Texas, that's bad.
All right, that's enough. What do you got for
I'm going to rant about the Michigan football student section. You guys know how much negative publicity the Detroit Pistons fans got for the whole Ron Artest incident. That's exactly the same thing that would happen to Michigan. The last thing we need is to have that reputation on top of losing the game. And not only that, but Eastern Michigan, I know it's not the biggest rivalry in the world, but we should expect to have a full house every game. It's Michigan football. No excuse not to be there. I'm very disappointed.
All right, come on, let's hear it, rookie. Bring it.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about baseball again because there really has not been these kind of races in a number.
I can't remember it.
In a number of years. But what's really going to be interesting, and back to the Giants-Dodgers series, is how they're going to pitch to Barry Bonds. Because the Dodgers, like the Padres and the Diamondbacks, see that team 19 times a year. So they know the Giants more than any other team, does, because they play them the most. But what sparked this turnaround that made this division race so close is the general manager of the Dodgers, Steve Podesta, trading Guillermo Mota and Paul LaDuca and Juan Encarnacion to the Florida Marlins for Brad Penny, and Hesop Troy doesn't even start. I had a feeling that this move was made because they thought they had a chance of getting Randy Johnson, and that fell through. And now that Brad Penny has had injury problems, they're really in trouble. That's why I think the Giants are going to take this series.
Go ahead with Kevin Wallace in a sideline report.
Well, obviously, Michigan has exploded for 4 goals, responding well to being down 1-0, something they haven't been in a while because they weren't down all weekend at Bowling Green. Also, one more note, watch out for Andrew Ebbett, who has scored a goal in each of the past 4 games. Hopefully he can get one on the board. Back to you guys.
Oh yeah, well it's a little early to tell, but this was a chance for Michigan to get some national exposure. And obviously Harris, you saw the 3 in the highlight film, he did a great job, and I think he's definitely one of the keys to the season. Everybody knows about Horton, everybody knows about Abram, everybody knows about Sims, but I'm not sure everybody knows about Deion Harris. And I mean, he's one of those guys that can start a big rally, he's a spark plug on the team, and as he showed in Colorado, they got off to a fast start. he really guided them to that fast start.
Graham Brown, the forward, is going to be missing the next 4 to 6 weeks with hernia surgery.
Well, what Graham Brown does for this Michigan team, just like Brent Petway, it's all about hustle. Graham Brown might not put up the best stats, but for him, it's not what's in the box score. It's the hustle. It's the tip passes. It's sprawling on the ground to get loose balls. It's the tough rebounds and tipping it out to teammates. He just energizes the team. And I mean, and the Maze Rage goes crazy when they call Moose. There's plenty of times on Saturday against Notre Dame. I remember they were trying for an alley-oop. He tips the ball in the air. He could just change the whole momentum in the game. And then Lester Abram was projected to be our leading scorer next to Daniel Horton. That's obviously a huge loss, but you got to get beyond that. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it now. You have to keep a positive momentum. You got to have confidence in Ron Coleman to come in. And I think they beat Notre Dame without Lester Abram. Why can't they have some a very good Big Ten season?
Yes.
Kevin, is it Henny's fault or
Well,
is it the receiver's
that's
fault?
a very good point, as you said. Henny threw almost all of his passes to Braylon last year, and we saw that. Avant, he did not get many passes thrown his way, and this appeared especially late in the Notre Dame game. And when he did look at Avant, as Adam said, he did not look anywhere else, and that's when he threw those passes, those lobs in the end zone, where he did not give Avant really a chance to catch the ball. And personally, it might have worked out for the best, because those probably would have gotten intercepted. But Henny just needs to look around for those receivers and be poised in the pocket. I see him panicking after his first receiver gets covered, and he needs to be more relaxed, and he needs to look for a second up.